So today I'm going to look at this package. Now, I ordered this stuff off of eBay, and there should be radioactive tiles in here, based off of the age range that was listed in the description. And so the best way to check is have a Geiger counter ready, like this Radii B20. This one can detect alpha, beta, and gamma radiation. And so let's, I just turn on the clicker so we can hear it. And now it's here. So just based off of that, there is definitely something radioactive in here. Now, I usually don't do videos like this where I open stuff, you know, for the first time on camera. But you know what? I figure might as well try something new. And yeah, let's get this thing open. So it's funny because, so what I used to do is I used to sell uranium on eBay. So I would just sell rocks that I found in the desert, like at old mining sites. And that's what I kind of do for like a little bit of extra income. So I would, you know, sell this uranium on there. And I did this for a couple of years, and this knife is just being a pain. There we go. So I did this for a couple of years, and then one day eBay decided, nope, you can't do that, and what you were doing violated all of our rules, and they just, you know, they just basically deleted my account, you know, or made it to where I couldn't buy anything or list anything for sale after I'd had this account for, you know, probably a decade almost. And so that was fun. But what's funny is that I don't know what they think they're doing, because you can just buy other radioactive stuff on there. You can buy uranium, radium, all kinds of stuff on eBay. So I don't know what they thought they were stopping me doing, but whatever. But anyway, let's see what's inside here. Let's not talk about the politics of online markets, because I'm excited to see these, because I believe the listing said that these were from Malibu tiles. And now, if that's true, if it is Malibu tiles, then they were only made from like the mid 1920s up until like kind of the early 1930s. And yeah, so if you get something from that time period that is this particular color, more likely than not, it's going to be radioactive. If it's a ceramic. All right, let's, seems like it's packed pretty nice. Lots of foaming. Lots of foam in here. So I ordered a couple of things here. So let me get that out of the way. So I have a bunch of these little tiles here, and this looks like it's packed very nice. Like, this is actually much better than I thought it was going to be as far as packing goes. So I'll just take all this stuff out and then kind of unwind all this, you know, unpack it so you can actually see what it is. And then these are kind of like tile edges. So I got 6 of those too. And then another 3. So it's a total of 6. All right. So that's everything out of this box. So let's put everything right here so you can kind of see what we got. I'm just trying to line it up. I actually got 2 cameras running today, which is nice for a change. You know, I don't have to like reshoot stuff twice, which is always a pain. Okay, so this is packed much better than I thought it would be. Oh, there we go. Found the edge. Now these tiles are probably getting close to 100 years old. So now I'm not worried about radioactive contamination from these, because usually the uranium isn't that big of a problem in these glazes, because it's almost like a glass. So it's not too bad. So let's see what the... So these are pretty radioactive inside of here. But these might not be hot at all. Ooh, I hope that's not the case. These definitely seem like, I'm gonna have to check this out because it kind of seems like these tiles might not be radioactive at all. Yeah, so this is something that happens. So, you know, this is kind of the thing of buying stuff online is that you don't know. And so I might have to send these back. I know that the guy offered returns. So like this looks like it should be radioactive, like totally. But it isn't. That is insane. That's really weird. I've never seen this. This looks like it should be very hot, but these are not. These are totally normal tiles, and it makes me think that these actually aren't from the right time period. So, yeah, nothing. Like if I move these out of the range here, I'm not getting any reading from these tiles. But they look like they're the right color. So that is bizarre. So these are not what they say they are. But these other ones are, so let's check those out. That is too bad. But they're really cool tiles. You know, I was kind of hoping to build like a little like cube out of them. So I got 6, but whatever. That's the way it works. Now, these ones are from the correct time period. So these ones might have been, you know, maybe they were made like right after 1945 because the government put a stop to people using uranium oxide in glazes like right around 1943, 1945. And that ban was in place for about 13 years or something like that. And so when people were allowed to start using uranium glazes again, a lot of these companies had already gone out of business. Yeah, these look like they're pretty legit. Okay, well, I'm pretty happy that these are okay. There we go. So most of the time when I find stuff like this, that actually isn't radioactive and it isn't from that time period because these look like they are from that time period, but they're not. I mean, that's the only way I can describe it. I mean, they have like the right color, the weathering, and I would think like these were definitely from that time period, but because they are not radioactive, they are not. So that's why using a Geiger counter to kind of check like things, like to check the ages of things is like such a handy tool because, you know, you never know until, you know, I mean, this looks for all intents and purposes like an actual tile from that time period, but because it is not radioactive, it's not. So it's just too bad. I was really looking forward to those. But whoa, okay. So let's get these guys out. All right, so here's one of them. So now, oh yeah, that's a really beautiful tile. Look at that. Yeah, so these are like corner pieces. Yeah, look at this guy. And let's see how radioactive it is. So this looks like there's like right around 35,000 counts per minute. So this piece is 1,000 times above background radiation. So that's usually a little hotter than a lot of these uranium glazed ceramics, but it's interesting to see like how they applied this, because you can see it's like just kind of like globbed on there. They made sure it like had good coverage. And so these are really cool. I mean, I'm super excited that I got these. These are very fascinating. I'll see if I can make something with them or just have them on display somewhere, you know, in my collection. But it's pretty cool. You know, I really I really enjoy finding stuff like this. It's like, very fascinating to me. So I am glad that these all turned out pretty good. It looks like they're all in good shape here. Let's see here. Yeah, so I got 6 of these guys. And now let's go and check the other ones, even though they should be exactly the same. But we shall see. Yeah, these are good. Look like they're packaged really well, but yeah, that blows me away. I am like really surprised that those other ones aren't radioactive, because you would think it would be. Like it totally looks like it would, but it's not. And so that's what makes, seriously, having a Geiger counter is so incredibly helpful. Like, it doesn't need to be this one. You just need to find one that can actually detect like beta and gamma radiation at the very least. It's nice having one like this that has a pancake probe on it that can detect alpha, beta, and gamma radiation. But it's not necessary. I think I'm gonna have to use my knife here. Let's see here. Yes, I know, I need to sharpen my knife. It's hasn't been sharpened in a while. That's just the way it works. I use it a lot, but it doesn't receive the love it should. So, yeah. Okay. All right, so that's the other side of this. We'll just put these all down right here, because they could just be all together. Oh yeah. Pretty cool. Now I usually find like just regular tiles, kind of like these ones, but I usually don't find ones like these corner pieces. So wow, okay, so this is now reading much higher. Yeah, this is like reading like into the 50,000s. And so it's probably because the surface area, it's like covering more of the sensor here. And so it's picking up more radiation. Because that's the thing you got to realize, is that with these items like this, is that when I put my detector on there, it's only like, detecting this little portion right here. And so the actual total radiation that this is emitting is a little bit higher, because you got to take into account the surface area of that detector and then the surface area of the entire glaze of this. So this is like emitting a lot more radiation. So this would just be like a spray of radiation coming out this way, and it's kind of very directional. So if you go like this and kind of move it around, like, let's do a little experiment here. Let's take this off. Like, since I have this facing away, it's picking up a little bit because this on the sides. But the minute I turn it around, see, it's very directional. So you can actually have this pretty close. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Man, that clicker's so loud. I know everyone complains about it being like just, really unbearable when I don't take the level down on it. But anyway, I hope you learned something new about, kind of radioactive tiles, or tiles that were glazed with uranium, even though now this wasn't glazed with uranium. So I need to go back and check out the actual description that the seller listed these for, because if he said that they were Catalina or Malibu tiles or anything of that time period, then these aren't from that manufacturer, because if they were, they would be radioactive. And so that's what makes having a Geiger counter so handy if you're into collecting these type of tiles or something like that. Maybe I'll just maybe I might not send these back. These were about like, they weren't too expensive. I thought that everything in this box would be super hot, but it was only those corner pieces. So anyway, well, we both learned something new. And this happens actually more frequent than you would think, like buying stuff off of eBay. You know, that's why it's so much better to actually find stuff in the field, like radioactive antiques and stuff like that, because then you could check them while you're there in the store before you actually purchase them. Whereas online, you're really kind of taking, you know, more of a gamble on if these are going to be radioactive and from that time period. I think the guy that sold me these, he's a very experienced seller of ceramics from this time period. And he's got a bunch of stuff, like a huge collection. He has like a shop down in LA that I've never visited yet, but I want to. But the problem is that even the best of them can get fooled because they didn't use a Geiger counter to verify the age of these things. And so, yeah, it's very fascinating. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this quick little unboxing of some radioactive antiques that, you know, I got off of eBay. You can do that too. I'm sure you just kind of have to do your research if you're looking to get some items like this. You just kind of have to look at the time periods. Usually look for stuff that's like right around the 20s. It actually could even be earlier than the 1920s. But usually like right around the 1920s is when the style of glaze was very prevalent. And right up until like right around the mid-1940s. And so if you're looking for stuff that you want to buy that's radioactive for a collection or just for whatever, you can find that. It just takes a little bit of research and knowing your history of that time period and the manufacturing of ceramics during that time period. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. And if you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.